Yeah, the idea is that this animal lived in the ocean. In some books, is represented as a fish, sometimes as a turtle. And the idea is that it hibernates for so much time that it becomes like an island with a forest. And then men came, they start a fire, start to hunt, and the animal goes down, which I think was an explanation for this volcanic island that disappears. Sometimes there are islands that pop up and now. And but we really enjoy. I think the first time it appears is in the Simbad story, the Arabic stories from the 14th century. But then it appears Simbad, the sailor. Okay, it's like connected to the Thousand Nights. Yes, yes. Okay, okay. Exactly. But then it appears in so many different mythology. Also in the Greek mythology, it has a different name, but it's very similar. It seems sounds like also very Indian, like all their explanations for how things become. Yes. I'm not sure it appears also in the Indian mythology. But we really enjoy the idea of. I don't like. I'm sorry. We enjoy the idea of a place there is a living creature. Sorry. A place there is a living creature is not just a place. It's a living animal. Yes. And also the idea of monstrosity, because a monster. We use the name monster as something that it's so often connotated as negative, but actually the word monster is just something that goes out of the normal. The word monster? Monster, okay. Because it is the one that go out. Yes, and we think art is very connected with this idea of overpass a limit of what is normal and questioning these boundaries. So there were so many reasons why we enjoyed. Nice, and also it's like it's interesting like that there is kind of like living. It's a living area, and there is an animal. There is like what animal was under that, and how like it's interesting to see the turtle or a fish. Yeah. Can we start?
Yeah, we can start. Um, yeah, so my name is Leniko. I was a resident here for the last month, and I was working on a stop motion animation film about a doppelganger or the meaning of doppelganger. Doppelganger.
What's up?
Doppelganger is kind of like your identical twin, but the dark side of you.
Okay, the shadow.
The shadow, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, the alter ego and all of this. And I got inspired by a book by Naomi Klein, and she was writing about the doppelganger as in kind of like how our society is getting divided. And it reminded me very much about my own process of transitioning. I'm a trans person. I underwent like several surgeries and therapies and blah and whatnot. And a lot of time, the way you had to present yourself was that you're hated a part of yourself, and this is why you wanted to cut a part of yourself off. And this whole journey was like very, it was dehumanizing, it was very pathologizing, it was, I don't know, like just navigating the medical industrial complex was just such a shitty experience. And also the way I saw my body during that time was so different, and like I had to split myself in two and fight against myself and tell myself that I hate myself in order to receive medical care. And I wanted to turn this journey into something like more symbolic and healing than it was before. So I work a lot in my art with symbolism, lucid dreaming, alchemical symbolism, psychology of like Carl Gustav Jung, and all of this influenced this story of a soul creating a doppelganger by the ocean. And first having this impression that the doppelganger would solve their problems because now they have this perfect vessel that can do all of the tasks that they are unable to do, which in every mythology of the doppelganger, this is what the doppelganger is supposed to do. It's supposed to help the original. But after the course of the myth, the doppelganger always develops its own drive, and they both fight for the same identity because there cannot be two versions of the same person. So most doppelganger myths end in this way, that the original cannot bear the doppelganger anymore and tries to kill the doppelganger. And with killing the doppelganger, the original also kills itself. And I wanted to give the story a twist, and like at the end, after the fight and after the original trying to kill the doppelganger, instead of actually killing it, reaching out to it and reintegration with it. So so it also refers back to the alchemical process, because their transformation, maybe you know, from lead to gold, as they would do it, was structured in 4 paths, which is nigredo, albedo, citrinitas, and rubedo. So it's the blackening. When you burn material, it becomes black, then it becomes white, then it becomes yellow, then it becomes red. So in the end, it's a process of killing yourself to become better or transcend to a different level. And I wanted to turn all of this into kind of like a immersive, dreamy installation where it's about like shadow work, being with yourself, being with community, and kind of like remember all of this knowledge that is already inside of you and experience this moment of transitioning. Doesn't need to be gender transitioning, but any type of transitions that there are in life, which there is so many, and they are always also connected to pain. So how to get through this in kind of like a more healing way. Yeah.
But you also thought like about you I know this black, yellow, white, and red.
Mm-hmm.
I think more from medicine. What that used to be medicine. I forgot of. But anyway, do you do this kind of method or this kind of way also through the art, or in what way you do that?
I mean, in the end, the outcome was an artwork. So this mythology, I tried to integrate it into my artwork. So there is a lot of, for example, alchemical symbolism that we see in medieval paintings, Renaissance paintings, surrealism. Like a lot of time it will re-pop up in art. Also, Tarot deck is full with alchemical symbolism, and it's kind of pictures that are so deeply rooted already in our memory that you look at them and you already know what it means, even though you don't know what it means. So, and this is how I like to do it in my art.
The symbol or
Yeah, for example, one symbol is the lion eating the black sun. And it's in tarot you have the card strength, which is a woman not kind of battling with a lion, but there is a woman who's like very elegant and gentle, and a lion being very aggressive. And in the end, both of these symbols always symbolize that there is the wild side um, inside the human mentality and this kind of aggression. And then there is, if we go to the black sun, there is a subconscious. So this this stage of the lion eating the black sun is the wild animal part of the human, basically killing their own ego to transcend further. And in the tarot card, it's a leveling between the soft and the hard, the strength and the fluidity, and these kind of like weighting strings. So, yeah, for example.
and what your works are here in this.
Upstairs in the open
We're
studio.
gonna see.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, maybe it would be interesting if you can explain a little bit the process of making this video. Today we are presenting only a video version of it, but they yesterday present installation, an immersive installation with 4 channels, and maybe it would be interesting if you can share a little bit about the process and different components because it involves recording,
Yeah.
moving image, stop motion,
Yeah.
installative elements.
Yeah.
How did it come together?
Mm, it was such a long process. So in the end, I think I started with this doppelganger idea that just had me so chokehold. And then I'm working together with a cinematographer. Her name is Francisca Sayas Agoto. And we were planning to work on this on the future. So we were looking like more into the stages that I mentioned before. And we found that we should match the color concepts to the places we want to shoot. So we start with Nigredo, which is blackening. And for this, we wanted to go to the ocean and have kind of like the evening sunlight. So I went to the Atlantic and we start at the water. And then we wanted to, in each part of the film, focus on a different body part. So in Nigredo, we wanted to focus on the hands. Then moving to Albedo, which is white, we wanted to focus on sand, on this materiality of sand, and to focus on the eyes, because this is very much connected to the element air, which is also albedo is connected. And the eyes is something that realizes and that cuts and that differentiates. So the element air also goes with the knife. I'm getting like really connective here.
But how do you sorry like how do you see the air as cutting like knife or like the eye?
Basically, the element air is linked to the conscious, so to the mind, and the mind is the one that's realistic. So the mind is the one that decides, and what a knife does is to cut. So it separates between this is this and this is that. So that's just like a kind of like the theory behind it. Yeah, so basically each chapter was kind of like informed by the backgrounds of what it was meant to symbolize, and went through. Then like moving on, we went to Citrinitas, which is the fight, and then many folklores. You will see that the protagonist is going through a forest, which then always in folklore symbolizes again the subconscious. So we wanted to shoot plants, and kind of like the protagonist goes inside the forest and is there confronting the subconscious. And Rubedo, we wanted to have red light church, and this is the moment of transitioning, for which I just thought like it would be so nice to be kind of like in a religious space, to have this energy of transformation and how is it called, ethereal, like above human. Yeah, so that was kind of like the scenery, and yeah, where the different parts of the story came from. And then the process itself, the stop motion animation, was actually my first time working with animation. Yeah. And like years ago, I went to a museum in Düsseldorf where they had an exhibition about media art, and I encountered the art of Lotte Reiniger, who was a really famous German stop motion paper cut artist. And I saw like the monsters and figures that she was cutting, and I was just so mesmerized by the practice, and I wanted to do that. So yeah.
And so for how long you worked on this?
On this film, only that month. The whole concept and like getting everything together, because like literally I like we planned this since a year, I think. Yeah,
How long you are here?
1 month.
Residency?
Yeah, I literally came here and I was like, okay, I need this, this, and that, and then this. I had like the complete storyboard, every scene, like everything. I already had that before, and then I just was like 12 hours a day, and just we're just cutting. Like, yeah, I think I never finished so fast a project, like in the actual, like just doing. Yeah.
And the idea of the salad of elements is the presentation with a different layer and the curtains.
Yeah.
How did it came to life?
Like I like to do video installations in general, so I always search for new ways of making the space more immersive, because in general in my art I see it as such a drive to make artworks that don't tell literal stories, but instead evoke an emotional state that not tells a story, but lets you feel the story. And so I'm always trying to find new installative ways of creating environments that reflect the feeling that I want to evoke. So I wanted to build a space that's like, that feels safe, that feels very dreamy, but also feels like you could get lost inside of it. Kind of like a mind, kind of like the subconscious, like very loose boundaries between the spaces here and now. And then I thought, like, okay, so I could do several projections and I could layer the fabrics in a way that just feels like you can immerse yourself inside of it, but also there is no clear back and front, and yeah, you just kind of like explore your way as you go.
And it's interesting how the way the work was presented was really like you couldn't find a now when you speak about the project you can really see kind of a sequence of elements,
Yeah,
but presented here was really something that doesn't have a beginning or an end.
yeah,
And I think it's really echoes this idea of transition and not having a fixed point.
yeah,
So yeah, this was just a comment. So
yeah. No, totally. Thank you. No, that was totally the goal. Yeah,
can you remind me the title of the piece?
echoes from inside.
It's from the side.
Yeah.
And can you say something maybe about the title of the open studio that can also bridge us to the work
Yeah.
of YEONSU?
Yeah. So we thought about recollection as a not archival process, but a kind of like remembering and resharing of the knowledge that is already inside of you. Because I think the common factor between our work is memory that is stored inside of the body and like repeated through ritual and like practices that we repeat with family or friends or communities. And yeah, I think that's kind of like the whole story. But yeah,
Yeah.
maybe bridging to you.
Oh, I'm so nervous. Yeah, I think the link or connection between the two of us is like about memory repeating, but like you said, like echoes, like continuous, but kind of emerge in like different way or evoke different things all the time. So it's all every time it's something different or new. Yeah, yeah.
Do you want to say something about the work you're presenting?
Oh yeah. So My main practice is like painting. I do oils, and um, yeah, I do oils, medium wise, and my work is about like mm, visiting um, various layers of memories. And during the process, and it reflects the outcomes as well. So it's making itself is a ritual as well, but also at the same time the finished work, it's um, it's a evidence of the ritual or the appreciation of ritual, I think. Yes. And there are like three main elements in my painting. One is ground, the other another figure, and the last one's gesture. So it's like ground, actor, and act, which country no consisted of a ritual. So there are like recently I introduced diagrams in my painting, and there are a lot of like circles or like squares or rectangles, and I usually fill up with colors and making those diagrams are like entails gestures which are an element of ritual as well. So yeah, it's whole like integrated ritual, I would say. So like making itself and the result itself, and how it is presented, I guess.
Also, like, is this just one time? Because all of your paintings right now have tables in there, no?
Yeah, in a way of symbolic way. So like ground. Yeah.
And that references also to an actual ritual, no?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So like my work is like rooted in Korean ritual called Gijesa. It is about like honoring our ancestors. So you make food, and just before the day of their death anniversary, and at midnight we start the ritual. So with food, and we do sort of gestures, calling them, and also it means like we prepare the food for you. We are still remembering you, and we miss you, and we believe that like ancestor, their spirit comes to visit us and then have a meal and bless us. That's it. And I found that very sweet, and I love the idea of like calling them, and yeah, so that's why my painting include grounds all the time, which is like table, but like it became more symbolic, so it's like ground. Yeah.
I'm curious if when you represent these figures, these human figures, if in your mind, in your process, they represent somebody that exists, or if they are um, imaginary figures that you create.
So it's quite obvious that those figures are me, and she's the one sort of like doing travels uh, in memories. I'm kind of person delves into past a lot, and I ruminate a lot, and those memories like kind of like meaning to me. It's like it plays like a video to me quite often. So and I think the main drive that I paint is like I'd like to feel that feelings again in the past. So, and during those ritual, to call that feelings, or like, you know, it's very like to evoke those feelings. So always figures in the center as an actor doing rituals, to call that, to find that moment during traveling. Yeah.
Kind of recollect your own
Yes.
memory.
Yeah.
Can you remind me the titles of the paintings that somebody? For me, it seems the same. There are two things that for me are very tricky about painting. One is when a painter knows that a painting is finished, like how a painting is always an accumulation of layers, and somebody's kind of hard, I assume, to decide, or you know, but when it's finished. And the other things that always fascinated me about painters is the way sometimes words have are important for the pieces, sometimes they are not. I'm curious if you can tell me something about your relation to the process of painting and the way the role that words play into the narrative that you create.
Oh, I actually don't have narrative in there. I'm more like organist narrative. So I don't think my painting is really representative. Um, I like to be treated as more like instant image and instant feeling. I want, usually, I think like mostly I want audience to feel like overwhelmed in a way, or like want to feel something instantly. Cause like to me, image is like very like instinct and intuitive. So yeah, that's why I'm like against the narrative, and I don't think my painting is representative. And process wise, I feel like I forgot about how do you call a person do the like,
Daily chores.
no, they're not really sure. Tribe, and then the religious one, the head of religious, like priest.
In which, yeah,
I think, yeah, not the priest, but
in
like
which religion?
no religion, like
In general, the head
yeah,
of
back
religion.
then, like Bronze Age, something like that.
Some tribes had shamans.
Yeah, I would say I'll go with shaman. Shaman. Yeah, I feel like I'm a shaman sounds a bit strong, but like I feel like I'm the one. Um, yeah, like a shaman. And I became shaman by making work. It's so yeah. Um, so painting is very personal to me, and also at the same time, it is something that giving meanings in my life. Yeah.
How do you know when it's done?
Uh,
Like the picture. It's like just it's a feeling, or you have like a strategy behind it.
mm, I think when it, in a way, land on me, then
Yeah.
I feel like yeah, it's done.
It's really kind of intuitive in a way.
Yeah,
Because something that struck me about the paintings is that you often leave the background is there.
yeah,
Like there is a transparency in it, and I think that gives it sound as something that it's like if you were very sure about what you were doing, because there is no way of covering or erasing. It's like it's there. It is what it is. While oil painting often gives you this opportunity of
Yeah.
turn back and put another layer,
Yeah.
change the color, and it's something. It's almost if your painting are even closer to drawing to me. Of course, it's much more complex,
Yeah.
the palette and everything, but it's quite impressive how the background is always there. It makes you feel
Who's
almost
always that?
the background, the
A
living
background, yeah.
is always there. You don't cover.
Yeah.
It gives it very present feeling to me. Like you really see every stroke is there. It's not hidden.
Yeah, I work on royal linen, so it's quite different when people approach oil painting. As you said, like if you work on primed one, you can layer on top, but mine is not really, because royal linen, um, it's like it marks every traces. So even you drop the painting by accident, it stains all the time, and it's very hard to cover it unless you apply very thick. Then it will lose its like brush mark usually. So I don't really like that. And also, color wise, it's less vibrant because primed one like kind of like there's like white background, so it's sort of like I think it gives a little bit of lightening in a way. But Roland doesn't really have, and it absorbs a lot of paint, so in a way it feels like settled. And again, it's just like it's very very good to play with softness and hardness, because like every touch is like when you hold it quite tight, it's like it depends on like light, it's like yeah, it reflects. So I love that, and also I love the quality of the raw linen, and I love to leave some spaces as it is. I see it like a breathing gap, so you can actually, and also like the movement or like um yeah, the movement you can see in the painting. Sorry, I'm really bad at this. Yeah, so that's why I always leave. uh yeah, I just feel like it's very natural, and it allows figures to appear and disappear.
That's interesting. Appear and disappear because your figures have something. That is also about, to me at least, a multiplicity of point of view. It's almost if the person is moving in a way, like it's not oriented in a fixed position. Because that's something that I would say almost recovering and replacing in a way. The idea of appearing and disappearing. It's very, it tackles a lot of the
Yeah. I think facial expression is really important to me, because it reflects directly reflects um, traces of traveling. So during she's she's
Sorry,
ongoing
like
traveling,
she's talking
layers
over there. I
of
think it's like it's really a little bit rude when you talk so loud. I mean, you don't need to participate, but like.
thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so she's like traveling the layers of memories. That's the whole theme. And then during the traveling, she goes up and down and up and down, which means she had to go through all the layers, and it sort of makes the figure extract and then like compress at the same time. So all the figures, expression, facial, it's like how she's going through and how it's done so far. I think that's all.
Maybe I'm curious if you can share what's going to happen next. I mean, you're here for
3
1 month.
months, yeah. So for in June, I'm trying to try the risograph. I've never done it, so let me check the process first, and then also see other references as well. So I'll probably try that, and then do a bit of more paintings, and a little bit of holidays as well before I leave, I think.
Certainly.
Yeah.
But are you planning to show us the working and
Yeah, not painting, just risographs. I don't even know. I need to check.
They at Zaratan they have an archive of risograph, which I guess is like a print, digital.
Yeah, it's a kind of the process is similar to silk print, but it's actually much more mechanical. It's a machine, but it has this idea of putting color in layers to arrive to a final image that can be more realistic or more graphic.
On what? On wood or
On
like?
paper. The machinery looks like a big photocopy machine. It's a technique invented in Japan in the 70s, I suppose, 60s, 70s. Then it disappeared because more effective technology was invented. But then in the 80s, there was a revamp of the technique in Barcelona, and now it's very loved by artists because it's quite cheap. It's super natural. The inks don't pollute. All the material are like the master is done on a banana leaf paper, and it has this kind of characteristic of every time the machine hits the paper, it never matches perfectly. So it has every print has a slide different from the other. They're not exact copies. They're a bit off place, offset. And we invite the artists in residence to produce one of these prints, which is a way for us to keep an archive of the residents that pass by. We don't force them, I promise.
But you want to make one or you want to make several?
I'll have to see. I have no idea. Have you done?
I sent one. I don't know
Oh.
if it's.
Yeah, the printer was a bit overwhelmed by
Yeah.
work, but
Is it not here? Oh, it's gonna come.
No, yeah, it's gonna come.
it's in process by my mail at this point.
Okay.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
I preach to you and you can tell us what's coming next besides receiving a result by mail. What else do you remember?
Now I think I'm gonna make a portfolio of kind of like the pictures of the exhibition.
I'm sorry, it was very Israeli.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
How much more time do you have now?
10 minutes.
We cannot hear them.
Not much.
Because
Yeah, I'm gonna take the pictures of the exhibition here, and I'm gonna apply for production companies to make it kind of like a more bigger format as a short film with performers, and make kind of like a video dance performance together with a crew. That's the next step.
Video dance performance.
Yes.
So the video will be the base and the performance will be on top, or the performance will fit the video?
No, like the performance will be on video. So it's like two dancers who will make a choreography with us, and we film them, and then we build this together with the paper cut as a bigger video installation. Yeah.
It's interesting how your process here was very solitary in a way.
Yeah.
So it seems you are very collaborative in
Yeah.
the work.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in I don't even know how many years that I'm doing something alone. It was actually very crazy. Yeah, I do video since I think 2019, and since then I did one like only sculpture where it was just me working, and like I did it in a glass workshop, and I don't know how to work with glass, so like it was kind of like a teaching mentor apprentice moment, but I didn't like I would work always with a crew and like with people. So this was really interesting of like I don't know, just being by yourself again, also just working by your own. Was also nice. Yeah. Cute, I think. We're done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
And of course, the installations are upstairs. Maybe without the camera, we can
Yes,
give it a follow-up and see the work.
that would be nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like but they're also they're musicians.
They're
no?
musicians, so
Like I'm
I
also
was
not gonna yell at
expecting-
their concert.
Yeah.
This is really like something like I feel like especially artists should know about this.
Yeah, I was expecting them to follow and not to disturb, but it is what it is.
Upstairs?
Yeah. It's when it's outside and then right the next door.
You are coming with me?
Oh yeah, I can come.
Tudo bem.